Hello, Zakk.
Hola, Palapidworks.
How are you, buddy?
This is the greatest day of my entire life.
Yeah? Yeah? Uh,
Oh, I'm having my Joker baby moment once again. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. I guess, well, for me, Buenos tardes, because it's the afternoon.
It's the afternoon.
Um,
Está la podcast mucho grande.
Mucho grande indeed. We're covering two chapters today, 1136 and 1137. Also, Buenos dias, Molotov. How are you? And we were not late. I swear we weren't. You can't say we were late.
Oh my goodness gracious. Hermano Malvado is real? I cannot believe this.
Okay, so
Shanks está el mejor luchador. Holy smokes. The Young and the One Piece.
Yeah.
I cannot believe. I can't believe it. I get to live in this world.
One thing I will say for sure, starting with 136, I'm happy that we're getting somewhere with the cover story. Because, my God.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait to talk about
we'll save
some
it.
Major plot developments.
We have to save it. We have to save it. I know we're all excited, but I want to do things in chronological order at least. A little bit. We can goof around in within the space of 136, but then when we get to 137, we can just go all out. But just for prosperity's sake, I would like to just be chronological. I know, Mr. Fun Killer. But yeah, okay, so who's important, apparently, which is very funny, given
he was the leader of CP9, right?
No, he was a prodigy comparable to Rob Lucci.
Okay.
But he was a Cypherpole agent. The reason why this is so interesting in 136 is because we get more Nika lore, and he was the one to introduce us to Nika. So I'm like, oh wow. That's crazy. And we see Cullen striking a Nika pose, which is also interesting. Also, Ors comes up a lot, which I guess is important based on what happens later.
Ors comes up a lot in what way?
Because Usopp mentions Ors.
Oh, okay.
And then Ancient Giants become a repetitious thing between this chapter and the next chapter. But it's funny because now that opens the gate, because now we're discussing Yamato and Who's Who, and they both have natural horns as well. So it's like, okay, do they have ancient giant blood, and that's why Onis are powerful?
Or are Onis the evil Buccaneers, dude?
That's why because Buccaneers supposed to have giant's blood too. But I guess
maybe you know how we have the Skypeans, right? And how there's multiple different races of Skypean?
Right, yeah.
Maybe the, what do they call it? The people who lived on the Verth, the people who lived in the Blue Sea.
This is a Blue Sea dweller?
Yeah. Maybe they also had multiple different versions of human. Who knows?
Yeah, because we got long arm, long leg, snake neck.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe we're having a new distinction of multiple different guys of half giants or whatever.
Yeah, because who was it? You probably, I don't know if you'll see this or not. Anthony Isaac on TikTok was thinking that named Colin, the little baby, this Ripley's child, that he was a Buccaneer because, oh Lord, Spanish in the chat. I'm out of my depth now.
I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. That was 10 years ago. I am tremendously out of practice.
Neat.
And I do not feel like Google translating everything.
and I am trying to run a program, so I cannot go translate. But no, I agree with what you're saying because Anthony Isaac was what's a good word for it? Theorizing that Colin would be a buccaneer, but I'm like, because his father's a human, and I'm like, well, no,
he's a little bit too big already.
Exactly,
to be a buccaneer.
A buccaneer seems to be a very specific thing because technically Kuma should be a half buccaneer, but he's not, because his mother was human and his father is the buccaneer.
Yeah, and so basically it was more important that he had buccaneer blood in him.
Right.
But Colin's the size of like a fully grown giant child.
Exactly.
Or should we call him Colon?
Colon. Mucho gusto. Anyway.
I mean, if his name is Colon, I mean, he is going to be important because that's a very notable Italian explorer's name.
Oh, good call. Colon. I thought he was.
We don't call him that in America because we want to give him our Bartolo Colon, my man. Nah. Oh, that threw me away. I got thinking about baseball now. But anyway, we call him Christopher Columbus because we wanted to give him a more European name, I guess. But
I see. That makes sense. I thought he was named after the organ. Because
I mean, it's definitely also possible.
Because GERD is supposed to be like a gastrointestinal thing or something.
And that's more likely than not gonna be the case, but maybe it's like a funny little coincidence, or maybe it actually means something.
It could be a pun. You know, there are tons of puns in One Piece. Because and we have people named after explorers like Anne Bonny. Well, she's a you get it. It's fine. Or Lumbus, Columbus. It's all relevant. Anyway, Jinbei is seen as important for the first time in the manga, and that's great.
I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
I want way more of this.
Because you should have it.
This is the best Jinbei has looked in 2 arcs.
Yeah.
Jinbei shows up, people expound on him, and you see him swell with pride about his people and talk about how much he loves his race and his people and his homeland and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's his dream, right?
I guess it is.
It's so refreshing to be able to see him be like this, because this is how I expect him to compose himself.
Yeah.
I love this. I want more of this.
It should happen. And people should be like, wow, I do want to see a mermaid, because Fisherman Island is a great and wondrous place.
We heard about Fishman Island, 3 years before they actually went there?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, he should be proud of it. And people should be mesmerized because, and I talk about this in the video I made about it, they probably have never seen someone like him, because the only person that they probably could have seen, and we learn later that maybe he doesn't even exist on Elbaf, is somebody like Big Pan, who's a wonton. So Fishman mixed with giant, but even then, Big Pan looks like a normal dude.
With all of his sub-crews, it could also be, maybe assuming in some sort of way, maybe Shanks had a Fishman on one of his, obviously not on his main crew, but on one of his lesser crews.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe Shanks is living up to that human supremacist ideology.
Well,
he's still not beating the allegation.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There it is. Shanks would not have Fishman on his crew.
Yeah.
I'm not saying for his crew, but what about one of his sub crews? Do they have to cull the blood before they're allowed to join? Total fish death.
Jeez. I do like Sandy swooning over a giant woman, because why wouldn't he?
Because all I want to be is the boy who gets to see a giant woman.
Indeed.
Sanji is literally me.
Bro, me too. And I'm glad they react to Brooke in a very similar fashion, because Brooke weird.
Mm-hmm.
You should react to an animated skeleton in this way. Like, oh my god, what is that?
Yeah, like this Yonko shows up and just brings the entire circus to town.
I'm really?
To the point where even Big Mom was like, you got some weirdos on your crew, dog.
And I've got a whole island full of those.
And she collects them as a hobby.
Yes. Important thing about important asterisk thing about that, because it relates to Shanks. Griffins are real.
Yes.
Which is weird, because she has one in her book. We never see one.
Well, you can assume that griffins are real if there's a Sphinx Island.
Yeah, but like, there's only one Sphinx that we ever see. Because the little baby guys are manticores. The little lion guys with the human faces?
Yeah.
Wait, do we see multiple Sphinxes on Sphinx Island?
I don't know.
I only remember the one that escaped from Impel Down.
Mm-hmm. If we did, it would be like on one panel on one page in like a nothing chapter about Weevil.
I'll have to find it
as like an establishing shot.
I will have to find it because that is my job. But yeah, and I do like that Road is getting characterized. That he's not just
oh my god, he maintains the status of the goat. Is this man a Zoan? Because he is 100% goat, dude. I can't believe how much I love this character. He's so good.
Since the start. Also, I would like to bring up, on an unrelated note, because I find it funny that this is happening now. One Piece is getting a Lego set.
Oh.
And I find it funny that One Piece is getting a Lego set after we just left Legoland.
Yeah, after establishing that Legos canonically exist in this world.
Yes. Who they are made
apparently, that's probably not like... That's probably not any kind of, like, devil fruit or anything like that made them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we didn't see them in Vegapunk's world, so he didn't invent plastic.
No. But we'll have
maybe it's a subsect of Wapple Metal.
Could be.
Because we know that Wapple got very rich making toys.
Yeah, he did get prominent. I don't know if he then too, if they were small, they could always be increased by the owl. That's an option now. So I don't know actually. But yeah, and I like that. You know what I just like about Elbaf? That we go back to a lot of classic tropes. Because like Zoro's actually threatening to decapitate Road. Good. Good. We maintain that he is a vicious cutthroat. Very cool.
I don't know how I feel about the goggles.
Him and Iwer has been weak. Even like in one of the movies where he's wearing sunglasses, it's strange.
It just feels like Zoro of all people would not wear goggles.
Yeah.
Like he would want to keep his eyes like open. Well, his eye open at all things, right?
No, he does wear them in Skypiea. I don't know.
True.
But Skypiea is based. I don't know. And they were better than this visor thing. I don't like it. I don't know. Because I mean, the shot, like this shot right here, it would be more powerful. He didn't have it.
And it's just like it makes the design needlessly busy.
Yeah.
And it makes me worry about Oda feeling like, maybe I don't want to draw Zoro this hard.
No!
It'd be more powerful if it wasn't just scribbles on a page.
Oh, Lord. Well, that's how it be sometimes. I do like the relationship developing between Road and Gerd, though. That's also very... But I don't know. I didn't think that we were going to get this much characterization. Much characterization out of the new giant pirates, but I'm glad we are. Because I was concerned. And it's weird how like weirdly peppered they are throughout the story, because technically we meet one in the pre-time skip, Stance in the shipwright, because of course he was in the auction house with Rayleigh. So it's just interesting. Yeah, I use interesting a lot. It's just interesting how prominent this, I guess, section of the new Giant Warrior Pirates are from the Grand Fleet as opposed to other characters. Because not even Bartolomeo is this prominent, I think, overall. I'm trying to think who else. I would love it if Ideo was. Because Ideo's my favorite, so I have bias. It's crazy how much characterization this squadron of the new Giant Warrior Pirates is getting. I love it. I mean, of the Grand Fleet. Yeah.
They'll, like, this part of the new Giant Pirates will probably end up falling off later on when we start focusing on likely the relationship between Hajradin and Loki and all that.
Yeah, because that's like the big pull for this arc, obviously.
Yeah, but it's good that Oda's remembering to give them some time early on.
Yeah. I mean, because you set these characters up, the least you can do is make them be something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they are of the grander fleet of our main characters. So, like, yeah, it's nice that they're getting spotlight. I hope, like, well, maybe not every quadrant, because that would be a bit time-wasty.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe, and I don't know if you will agree with this or not, maybe the Ideo Pirates, because Abdul and Jeet show up in the Kuma flashback, which is really weird. They just get blown up by Kuma.
I just appreciate that we have a character like Road, who is like a complete dork and who sucks.
Yeah.
Especially after, let's be honest, Egghead's characterization was not about being a terrible dork.
No, it was about being... Go on.
We had Bonnie, who was close, but then Bonnie became Nika, so no. But it was about being, like, literally the bestest boy with the greatest intentions of all time.
Even though Vegapunk is literally probably the most evil character next to Eam.
Like, we named our characters, like, half of the characters after various, like, evil turns, like deadly sins and stuff, and they did not get a whole lot of actual characterization.
No.
Not like this.
No. And then the only two that came out with anything were, like, Lilith...
proximity phase.
Yeah. We're like, what? Like, Lilith, kinda, and then
Lilith,
York.
no.
Oh, well,
Lilith is, like... Lilith got better after she left, because then she could be a straight man to, that's not how science work. That's a good joke for her.
Yeah.
Until they left Science Island, what was the most impactful thing Lilith did?
Yeah,
Name one thing Lilith did.
That's true. And then York got good when the plot got going. Then it
York
stopped.
got good because she was the villain.
Right, the villain. The rest of them,
she was the villain until they decided that she wasn't the villain.
Exactly. And then the rest we both like for arbitrary reasons.
And let's be honest, most of the reason why people like York, why we like York, is implied.
Yeah.
Because we can imply York got tired that they were using her as a dumpster.
Exactly.
But despite the fact that she's a smart scientist.
Okay.
They never outright state it.
Never expounded upon it all, which is a waste. But hey.
Which is wild for the villain of the arc.
Yeah, and
we don't even know their core motivation.
It doesn't make sense. It's worse than Hody almost.
Because she stopped being the villain because it's Saturn time, baby. And Saturn is not a goober.
No.
Saturn is just like, I'm evil. Oh, what's your core motivation? Being evil.
I'm the nasty spider in the corner of your bathtub. I will bite your big toe. Arr! And it's also, I still say that having all five of them, I like the power establishment, but good lord, that was a waste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say power establishment, but we don't even know anything. It's Occam's razor suggests that they're all awakened mythical Zoans, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
It seems that way for all intents and purposes, but we don't know that.
I mean, that's something we will probably get an answer to later down the line.
Yeah.
York's backstory?
I mean,
no.
Possibly, since she's
At best, we are going to allude to her in the final arc.
What if there's ever a shot with her talking to, I guess, her, what do you call him? The sugar daddy? Figgling Garland? I don't know what he is. I guess just her boss. But like, if he talks to her about that, maybe we'll get some insight, I hope. Is it likely? No, but I can dream.
It would be really funny if she showed up later with red hair.
Or he's
Vegapunk Garling?
He's grooming his wife. Okay.
No. Adopted daughter.
Yeah, because that sits better with me, because I can't. With all the kidnapping of all these teens, I'm getting uneasy, Oda, please. Because this is getting wild. Anyway.
I know the odds of a Vegapunk flashback is non-zero, and he is coming back, but, like, I don't know, man. We got some pretty definitive Vegapunk lore back in the Kuma flashback.
Yeah.
What else is there to talk about?
I guess, like, if we're trying to... then we're gonna have a third... Oh, my... How many Vegapunks are there now? There's Frankenpunk.
They're all alive!
Well, the Stella isn't.
They're bringing him back.
Yeah, because now there's a clone of. Oh, I hate this.
They have a clone.
I hate this, Zakk. I hate this. It's so confusing. It makes my head hurt.
Nothing happened. Egghead was completely worthless.
I mean, if you want to do a Ship of Theseus thing, I guess like technically,
Clone Punk, Voltron Punk, Lilith, and York.
Yeah, and then Clone Punk, Voltron Punk. Yeah. That's about right.
None of the the status quo did not change.
Because I mean, Punk Records is still there, so like, and Marcus Marcy, you were saying that like, are you even like dead or alive? What is this? So it's like, since Punk Records is here and it will continue to grow, and the Brain Fruit isn't gone, like he's still around. The Avatar, just known as the Stella, isn't here.
The only real change to the status quo is that the world government got the Mother Flame, which we could have assumed they already had, because they used Uranus.
Yeah.
Or Pluton, or whatever it is that destroyed Lelusia.
It's probably Uranus. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
So they already had it, but nah, that was just like a piece of it, but now we have the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh! Cool.
Which looks like the Maxim, or that thing that picked up Capone.
Mm-hmm.
But what was that about? Capone, answer me. That's so weird, and it's never talked about again. Capone, please join the Grand Fleet and tell me. Okay. Anyway, everybody on Elbaf wants to be the sun deity, and there's a big fight in the bar. That road starts because he's a big nerd, and this Mount Beard joke will never not be funny. I love that he is skewered through the head. It's so good.
Dude, like Elbaf is just bringing so much soul. Like, it feels like the world is healing because we just have these big goofy idiots all over the place.
Thank God, because I got tired of Mystery Science Theater.
Mm-hmm.
That sucked. I'm sorry. I do not like Egghead.
If we could flesh out the Egghead characters in a more interesting way, yeah. But we didn't.
No, Lucy time. And
we have to have a Tom and Jerry fight.
And then the big giraffe comes and he gets jobbed to a child afterward.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. No, he got jobbed to a vampire lady. That's right.
Yeah,
he just nibbled at his neck.
Like, the stuff with the CP9 is fine, but it it eats into the arc. It didn't take any time to breathe because it had to expound so much lore that all really meant nothing.
And to be honest with you, I like the awakening lore that like normal people can awaken to animal fruits. Stussy was the most interesting part about all of that. Because at least she was connected into the arc and then it's connected to the Rocks Pirates. So it's like, that's interesting. The rest of it I could honestly do without, but whatever. I agree. No time to breathe.
Luffy will pick up the sword in a fight and then put it back.
I hope so.
Are we talking about Mountbeard's sword? Because that would be funny.
I hope he takes it out of his head and puts it right back, yeah.
I hope that one of two things happens. I hope he grabs it to wield it, and he picks up all of Mountbeard with it. Or he picks it up and lifts it up, and either A, Mountbeard has a weirdly shaped head.
Oh, Zakk.
Or the sword is bent around the helmet, so it did save his life.
I like both are good.
The literal butt head would be funny, though.
My God, turn him into a funny, like, Chinjao character.
Like, evolve the joke. Oda's so good at stuff like that.
I love that. But now, lore. So this is the first time that we're getting the Elbathian depiction of Nika, and he's holding a shield. This makes sense and shows you, like, things are very cultural. People were saying that, like,
Yeah, because, like, it was a spear before, right?
Yes, it was. A spear. With an acorn it was shaped, like, point. Go on, Sargon.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting because, like, when it comes down to, like, I'm assuming the slave lord, the Buccaneer stuff, probably got their depiction of Nika from Skypiea, maybe? Or, like, the similar kind of idea, so it is more tribal in nature.
Yeah.
And a very tribal weapon would be... Like, there's two ways that you can view this. Either A, it's a very tribal weapon to use a spear, or B, the spear is the weapon of the masses, right?
Yeah.
If you need to arm an army, it's long, it has a point, and it's cheap. So that would be really good for the Buccaneers. It's like foot soldiers. It's like a foot soldier's weapon, is the spear.
Go to.
So you could do that.
Go on. Yeah.
The sword and the shield, very Viking.
Yeah, emblematic of Elbath, very true. Because, like, we see Broggy and Dory use a shield along with their chosen weapons, the axe and the sword. When we first see them on Little Garden. But, and sorry for interrupting you. But, like...
Well, that was basically my whole thing, so...
Oh, okay, cool. But you said something very interesting. That the spear could be the Skypian depiction, because we know that Kuma's Bible talks about Sky Islands. And in Skypiea, I believe the Shandurians and then Enel himself use a spear.
And Joy Boy was up there.
Right.
Or at least Roger was up there. But assumedly Joy Boy was also up there.
True. So, like, yeah, the spear makes sense for an Elbathian. No, the spear makes sense for a Sky Person's depiction of Nika. And Nika could have been in Burka, because we don't know anything about Burka because NL blew it up.
Yeah.
All we know is that Harudes, Nami's teacher, is from Burka. The weird wizard guy.
Yeah.
So, because he doesn't have wings, he could have been like the deity of Burka. I don't know. The king. But that remains to be seen. Anyway, yeah, this is the Elbathian depiction of Nika, and Mountbeard says something interesting. He says that, everything about Nika is actually white, including the Hagaramo, the sash of mastery.
Yeah. Which is interesting that they depict him as completely black in this.
Yeah, true. Huh.
Maybe it just looks better for the picture. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that fair. We're still like, I mean, I guess for anonymity. Because the whole point, like, anyone can be Nika, so you depict him as black.
Anyone can be Nika, but it is just Luffy.
Yeah.
Because we will send him back in time to complete the loop.
I hate that. I hate that
Timepiece.
theory. Timepiece is terrible.
But yeah, like it's like everybody wants to be Nika, so anyone can be Nika. So it's like a very cultural significant thing.
Interesting comment from Molotov. He says, I read it as Voss art, kind of like in like Greek depictions. Yeah, I can see that. Or like tapestry art, so you're not far off. I like that. But yeah, his is the only Hagoromo so far that is white. Well, yes and no, because Yamato's is depicted as white, though based on what happens in an SBS, and seeing as how she has it as a child, most likely she is not an awakened Zoan. So I don't know what that is about with her.
That was also before the idea of awakening had its like aesthetic imbued into the entire thing, right?
Yeah, because at that point, like
you Oda could just assume Oda put it on there because Hagoromo means godhood,
right?
And then he thought it would be a cool idea to represent that by an awakening, like somebody coming to grips and like literally awakening, like Wukong, right?
Yeah.
Where you just become, you absorb enough chi to where you just become sentient.
Yeah. No, yeah, I see that. Like enlightenment.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes the same kind of sense because Kato says, even though he's not awakened, awakening is what happens when your mind and body catch up with your abilities. Which is weird that only the Zoans have this because, of course, Paramecius don't have it. And we haven't really seen for sure what a Logia awakening looks like.
Though we can assume based off of Punk Hazard.
Wait, what do you mean?
We can assume what a Logia awakening does because we had two admirals who are likely awakened fighting on Punk Hazard and creating long-term devastating effects on the land itself.
See, that I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I'm not sure. Because that's an ability that they seem to just have if they stay in a place for a long time to express their ability. Because the first time that Ace appears in the manga, I think, he arrives in Drum Island, and while he's at Drum Island, it stops snowing.
And
that's because of him. Due to his flame fruit powers.
Yeah.
So, atmospheric...
Ace was awakened. What?
No way, nah. Ace is probably the worst Logia in the manga, like full stop. Like worse than Caribou. That's an opinion.
Specifically as a Logia, I would say Blackbeard, but...
Like, is he though? Because like with Blackbeard, it's implied that the reason why he's kind of bad is because of limitation. Like he has to be in a set environment. That's the
True.
That's the implication. That's not necessarily canon, but...
I mean, we're not going to do it, but it's about the implication.
Because it's weird, like, and people. I'm not saying names, but there are many people that come to the conclusion that he is a cannibal of sorts and ate a piece of white beard while they were in the Black Cloak. I don't know where that comes from. I guess it comes from Big Mom because she ate Mother Caramel. So people just think like if you just like eat a person, you get the powers, which I guess is not entirely false, but seeing as
You're
how
technically eating the devil fruit.
Yeah, and that's not a wild claim, but go on.
Wasn't Big Mom also eating a fruit confection, maybe? I forget exactly what she was eating.
Cracon Bush.
Yeah, that's not a fruit.
But like everybody was Cracon Bush to her at that point.
It's just flour and sugar, yeah.
But like if they're covered in darkness and the guy has the darkness fruit.
His power is specifically built around absorption.
Yeah.
So you could give anything the suck, even metaphysical concepts like powers.
Right. And then we know, like, when a doe
And he
fruit...
could turn off powers just by touch and all that kind of stuff. So, like, it's definitely implied.
Yeah. Like,
that
I
it's
guess...
definitely, like, it's the darkness fruit's doing.
I mean, in that way... I feel so rude. I apologize. No, go on.
I mean, that was the end of my statement.
All right. But, like, in a, I guess, metaphysical way, you could say he did eat the fruit, but with the darkness, because from, I think his name was Gats, back in the Dressrosa Coliseum, when he explains doe fruit reincarnation, there is an essence that comes out of the person and then goes into whatever host fruit that the essence likes. Like when Smiley dies, the Sara model axolotl likes apples, apparently. So the essence went inside apple that was on the sled.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that doe fruits retain their same shape and color regardless. Like when the essence goes inside, they're the chosen fruit or whatever. So like, yeah. Anyway, we've gone.
Moving that essence is likely how you create like a sword that ate an elephant.
Yeah.
I sure wish what Vegapunk could have told us about that.
There's no time.
I do find it really funny, though, that we go 1,000 chapters into the series, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Luffy's powers are like, oh, he's actually God. It's like this new God. It's specific to One Piece. And all of a sudden, everyone is worshipping this specific God.
It's a little jarring.
All of a sudden, we're like, hey, we also worshipped that guy.
I would have preferred, especially given that the first depiction is him with a spear, that we learned about him in Skypiea, and that built up why NL used the spear.
We secretly...
Oh. I can't fault it. No, it's I can't fault your assertion.
He did the pose, guys.
Jesus. Yeah, no, it's jarring. It's very breakneck.
But yeah, like, this is why I don't really go for the whole chapter 1 allegations. Like, oh, Oda had Nika planned from the start. Because like, if that were the case, he would not be trying so desperately to fill the lore, to fill the world with Nika worshippers. All of a sudden.
It's kind of wild. He did it so much that he made his one, like, outwardly religious character a Nika worshipper in Kuma.
Yeah.
The guy that looks like a priest and carries around a Bible. That's very funny. But, yeah, there are a lot of things I could believe were Chapter 1, like I just did. You commented on it, actually. The Cross Guild Chapter 1 allegations.
Oda came up with Nika 1 chapter before the reveal.
Yes, he did.
Not quite. It's about 3 chapters before the reveal, because that's when Who's Who was talking about it.
No, true. That's true. No, exactly.
Or was it the chapter before? It might be the chapter before.
Whenever Who's Who is taught is like...
It was 1 chapter before that reveal.
Yes. Whenever he's waxing poetic to Jinbei about a thing that Jinbei himself did not tell us about, which is wild because he has a sun on his chest. What are we doing out here?
Well, it's also wild, like, when you consider the fact that, like, Luffy awakening his fruit as a Paramecia makes so much more sense than awakening a Zoan fruit, because the two arcs in the Kaido saga leading up to the Kaido arc was revealing a Paramecia can awaken with Doflamingo, and then revealing that a Paramecia similar to Luffy's power set can awaken with Katakuri.
But the funny part about that is that he just gets...
Like poetry, it kind of rhymes, but go on.
But yeah, like, it's funny because he just gets those powers anyway.
Yeah.
Like, he affects the environment like a which, I mean... Is that wrong? No, because mythical Zoans are like animals with Paramecia powers.
Yeah.
So in the most roundabout way, he gets away with it. Oda does. But like, I don't like it.
You can definitely tell he made the decision last second
Yeah.
Because he wanted a transformation sequence.
You want his Super Saiyan, yes.
And B, he decided that he's going to have a lot more plans tying Luffy directly to the lore itself.
Yeah.
So he had to do it this way. I just want to make it a rubber man fruit, man. I was told the year 2004, he's made of rubber.
How did that
happen?
Well,
yo ho ho, sexism? Anyway.
You know what? He is a hack. By the way. No, I will not go back on anything I said. That video was terrible. He did not read a thing. It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. And it's not like you talk about One Piece all the time. You have a bias. No, I know when a person doesn't read. Just being illiterate all the time.
The narrator is not allowed to lie, except all the times that he has lied.
But here's the funny part. Technically, Nika is a rubber man.
He is.
So,
he's got all the powers of rubber.
Yep. And when Luffy died, he said, "Oh, my gum fruit, imbue my spirit with the powers of rubber and gum."
This is my final nen!
I love Hisoka joke for those in the audience who read Hunter x Hunter. Oh boy. Anyway, so Fallbeard is precious. I love him.
Oh my rubber fruit.
No, Mountain Beard, I mean. Oh my
I love the joke.
Yes.
And I hope that it gets expounded upon and evolves. So, oh yeah, I'm zooming down a lot. Let's talk about Road. I like Road.
Road is good. Speaking about Road, Loki's not the bad guy, and his father might be a villain.
What? Loki's not the bad guy? No way! Who could have possibly said that 2 months ago?
You. The moment
so I was
gone.
I was having a discussion in Discord about this chapter's reveal.
Oh.
And somebody was like, "Hey guys, so is like Loki dead?"
What? Oh. Wait, who said that?
Hey guys, is Loki dead?
Okay,
and I was like, I was like, it wasn't in the digital burrow. It was in a different. It was a different Discord. But while you're here, go and follow the digital burrow and give some more of these funny conversations. But
yeah, right.
I was talking about, I was like, could you imagine after gassing him up so hard over the last 3 months, if we killed Loki off screen in this series, and he came back to me, he's like, "Dude, Loki's like blindfolded and chained up, dude. It'd be so easy." As if the power scaling argument is what would make that statement ridiculous.
Like that power scaling is brain rot.
Dude, it'd be so easy to kill him. Oh my rubber fruit.
I don't know what to, I have things to say about Loki, but you know what's so funny about power scaling though? They just don't read. No, power scales just don't read. It's so weird. You don't read the manga that you're talking about. Relevant images posted in the burrow.
Oh my rubber fruit.
Thank you, Molotov. Excellent digital burrow member. We should have Molotov on the show, though he probably won't come. But that's okay. We love you anyway. Thank you for being an excellent member. Speaking about Loki, though, the things I can say about Loki, it's so weird when they're talking about him. He has so many silhouettes, even though we know what he looks like.
Yeah.
What is that about? Plus, the little fat guy silhouette that he has. proposing to Lola.
Dude, he got Jack to kill his dad. It was crazy.
I mean, because even like as a teenager, he looks kind of spindly. And then he went to the gym, dude. Ripped out of his mind. But I do find it funny that we're comparing him to Lin.
Yeah.
That's weird. Also, it's funny that he killed a horse as soon as he was born, and Loki in Norse mythology birthed the horse.
Yeah.
So that's funny. I like that. Well, no, I don't like the idea that a man birthed a horse. That's kind of wild. But
It's kind of cool to give the horse allegations, or the horse, what do you even call it? Just tie it together to the mythology.
Yeah, just clean it up, Jannies. Tie it together.
Also, I would also like to make a tremendous apology.
Oh, what's up?
It wasn't Uta.
Yeah, all right, going down. We might as well, because they're doing stuff.
It wasn't Uta.
It was not.
Dang it.
Yeah, I do like Gunko. There's been
her
many.
Design is wild.
I like that she doesn't wear pants. I'll be.
Oda really drew her like that.
He sure did.
I like that her sleeves are too long too, and I like how that ties to her devil fruit power.
I do like that a lot. I like her fun boots. It gives her a cool night aesthetic. I don't know why she looks like Koala with the hat. I can't not see it.
Oh, it's because Oda has one face he draws every female with.
No, it's not
and if you accessorize the same way.
Zakk. It's not. Well.
Although she does give me some like Shiryu vibes with her outfit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Between like Shiryu and the revolutionaries and that kind of general aesthetic.
I would love if Koala was a sleeper agent this whole time. I'd love it. No, destroy the
Gunko might be in it. Like Gunko might be a long arm tribe, which would be funny, but I doubt it.
It doesn't seem that way.
I think it's just sleeves.
Yeah. Yeah, I love her though.
She might be a long leg tribe. Good lord.
Yeah, they go on forever. Because
goodness gracious, Oda.
Because we do know, and I found this out very recently. In Cypherpole Ages Zero, there's a long arm tribe member, the tall guy that wears the red mask. His name escapes me.
Mm-hmm.
It's either him or the guy with the smiling mask. One of those guys is a long arm tribe member. I didn't know that. I read that on the wiki and I looked at him. I was like, oh yeah, he is. How weird. So they aren't against like humanoid races. It's just those dirty fish they don't like.
Mm-hmm. I also find it interesting that Gunko strikes like pop star poses to use her powers.
That's very cute.
You can tell Oda's been getting a lot more into idols lately.
Yeah, which
it's bleeding into the work.
The Uta allegations go hard again. But
well, if we have Shanks' evil twin brother, then of course we have Uta's evil twin sister.
Yeah.
Anti-Uta Otto, baby.
But what's funny too is that her power is very much like Doflamingo's.
Mm-hmm.
And that how she can control the weird arrow ribbons telepathically.
Yeah. It's like a ribbon fruit, or like it looks almost like reminiscent of like Rohan Kishibei's powers, or not his powers, but like JoJo Part 4, Koichi's powers.
Oh yeah,
where
reverb, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're fighting with the manga panels because of how they're broken up.
Yeah, you know what also looks like the Back to the Future arrow.
A little bit, yeah.
So like it's weird.
But it might be something along those lines.
Yeah, like what is this made out of? I wonder, because it's a solid object.
Yeah,
because it's choking out the wolf from Strong World.
If it is the manga fruit, I hope to God that Oda starts using it in weird, what do you call it? Like fourth wall breaking ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, her clothes unwind for it.
Which is new.
Yeah. So it might be like a strap fruit? Like
Maybe.
her clothes are made of straps?
Yeah. That's a possibility.
Like, there's a lot of things that it could be. I hope it's a manga fruit, and I hope that when she awakens, Oda warps the entire paneling around it.
It'll be funny.
Like, she could literally grab the panel next to her and pull it in the way so Luffy punches himself because he's punching his wind-up panel.
I mean, based on... Now, here's... this is probably a video within itself, but just based on...
Oh, the arrow fruit. Did they say that?
They have not said that.
But based on Bonnie...
They have not said that, and I would like it if those in the comments section would not spoil things for the next chapter that we'll be talking about very soon. Thank you very much. You ruined everything! Oh my god! Okay, anyway.
I've been spoiling everything.
no, not you. The people in the comments section. Anyway. Yeah, because of Bonnie's fruit, and how she can affect reality and make reality up, we don't know what the extent of Gunko's fruit can do. So that's not a bad assertion to make. I'll just say cool. It would be cool. What else is cool is that Loki is becoming the coolest character in this entire manga. Oh my god.
I want him to be a dork so bad.
He probably will be, though.
Lola turned down this guy?
Yeah. There's a funny thing that someone told me, and I'll relay it to you in the comments. So I'll make a video about this as well. What if that's not his actual body? Even though
there's like another Loki?
Like, no, like if he's wearing, let's say he has the resin fruit or like the plastic fruit, and you know,
he warped a cool body around him like Snot Man from Dressrosa.
Exactly.
That'd be. Would Sea Stone affect that at all, or?
See, that's the caveat. Like, since it's a real, because whatever devil fruit users make, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't affect the suit, but it would affect his ability to make any more. At least that's where I'm going with, because I guess...
I mean, if this were the case, then the Sea Stone would be touching the suit, which wouldn't be making direct contact with him. So theoretically, he could get out of this.
True, or... I'm trying to remember. Does Sea... Well, yeah, well, no. See, I don't know. Because on one end, I was going to say Smoker.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Smoker's Jute is only Sea Stone at the tip. Go on.
Yeah, and, like, Smoker couldn't smoke himself out of the cage.
Right.
For whatever reason, because it's Sea Stone, dude.
Also, what's weird, too, is that when he transformed into smoke, at least... recently in Punkcast, I don't know if there were like any animation mistakes beforehand, but the Jute could not transform with smoke with him.
Yeah.
Which was weird. But Loki will swallow his fury and reduce the world to rubble. Very Doflamingo-like.
Cool.
I love him.
Cool. Yeah, and he's got like the Doflamingo tongue too and all that.
I love him.
Also, Molotov, I love how you went to the Hito no Mi modeled Lika and not, like, the actual god that he's named after.
So, wait, one last thing about this chapter before we go on to the next chapter. Mm-hmm. We arrive at the castle. Oh, yeah, this dumb joke I want to talk about. There's a pecking order of Nami's slaves.
It's getting stronger.
Zeus is number 1, Sanji's number 2, and now Road is number 3. Also, I'd like to point out that it has been 30 years, I believe, since we had an adventure with just Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, our main 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because Zoro was not invited to the best arc of the series, so.
No, he was off being a samurai.
in the worst arc in the series.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
That's not fair to Wano. Wano's got a lot to like. It's just too long.
Wano is competing with Egghead and Fishman Island.
Mm-hmm.
And Fishman Island is going to glow up in the anime, so I don't even know if that's in the running for the worst arc anymore.
I feel like if Wano was about half its length, and B, if Wano wasn't gassed up for 10 years before Wano,
yeah,
I feel like a lot more people would view it more favorably.
Yeah, like Molotov said, if it was edited down. Also, I hate that we get so much supplementary material about Zoro's relation to Wano outside of the manga. Like,
we have 150 chapters of Wano, and we don't use those chapters to explore like Zoro's connection to his blood, his home, his identity, or lack thereof.
Especially seeing as how he is a direct descendant of Shimotsuki Ryuma. And then, if you want to learn more about that and how it directly connects to One Piece, you have to have a Netflix subscription.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog, because at the end of that whole thing, they flash back to Thriller Bark.
Brother, we're almost at chapter 1200, and you want me to do homework?
It's crazy. It's because you can't even read regular monsters to get that. That they should have just re-released monsters with that information. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was cool. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad Ryuma had his black blade back then, which makes Mihawk look like a big fraud. But
But
yeah, Malta, we should have got that should have got that front loaded. And like how Wado Ichimonji and Enma are just brother and sister.
Oh my god, how did we not even talk about Wado Ichimonji?
We did
at
the end. With I think his name is Shimotsuki Kozaburo, the old guy. Like at the tail end when Zoro is fighting King, we get that. At the end.
I don't want that at the end.
That should have been front loaded.
I wanted I wanted it to be Zoro's arc.
Yeah.
Zoro needed an arc.
But people don't care about that. They want a ZKK.
Well, I don't care about ZKK. Like, Zoro doesn't need to kill the big bad in order to have a character arc.
No,
yeah, the manga remakes will fix this, but like I wanted this to explore Zoro's place on the crew in the same way that, say, Whole Cake was about exploring Sanji's place on the crew.
It's crazy. That's a big Zoro.
Explaining in great detail why exactly Luffy cannot do this without Zoro. And we don't have to we don't have to do this in the same way that we did with Sanji. Like, Zoro doesn't have to leave the crew.
No.
Because that would be so out of character for him. But we could expound and reflect and flesh out more about his place in not Nenny's Lobby, Water 7. His place in Water 7 was to put his foot down and to do what is best for the crew, despite the fact that it's a hard decision to make, right?
Right.
Make that his arc about why we need that on this crew.
Well, wait, you're not gonna like my answer.
That'd be boring. Oh.
No.
Or do you say that we did that?
No, because thankfully we have Jinbei to do that for us now. So,
I mean, did Jinbei do that?
Yeah, and Whole Cake. So I'm sorry, Zoro. You're not the vice captain anymore. The helmsman is. Sorry.
Oh, wait, what did Jinbei do?
Jinbei yelled
Zoro
at the
kills
crew.
Jinbei.
while Luffy was fighting Katakuri and everybody was worried, Jinbei says, "We all have to straighten up and be a true crew," or whatever he said. So since
in his defense there, they needed someone like that at the time, and they did not have Zoro.
Yeah, but now that see, this is the problem I was talking about, and we were due for a Jinbei rant. You can't have both of these running at the same time. It's either one or the other. Because now that creates confusion, because like Jinbei has more experience than Zoro as a pirate, and Jinbei has been a leader, which is the problem of having him here. Because
we can't have two co-vice captains.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it more than anything in this manga. I hate it.
Because like every co-vice captain role in the series has always been really funny.
Yeah.
And always had like really fun dynamics.
Yeah.
Like with Big Mom, we had like Katakuri and Oven and Smoothie, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that those are like the co-captains, the vice captains of there, and Cracker, right? Those were the four guys, right?
Yeah, it's Cracker, well, Snack, but I think he's no longer one. Cracker, Snack, Smoothie, and Katakuri, yeah. And Katakuri like has the most interactions with Big Mom, I believe, out of those four.
As he should.
Right.
He's Big Mom's favorite son. But like we had them and they work really like there's stuff there.
Yes.
But more importantly, Kaido's crew.
Yeah.
The only people in Kaido's crew that actually matter are the vice captains.
Yeah.
And good God. I mean, all you have to say is Queen.
Yeah.
King and Queen bickering and fighting is hilarious and awesome.
It's amazing. And you forget about Jack, who is also a fishman, which is very funny. But out of the entire, you know what? Flat on the line, of the Beast Pirates who matter in terms of character interaction and lore, it's really King, Queen, Who's Who.
Yeah.
That's it. Which is really weird for Who's Who. But he's there.
Yeah.
He gets the development, he gets the interactions, he has the funny entourage. He tells us about Nika, he talks with
the main character of the series, Jinbei.
Well, no, he's a drinking buddy with that was X Drake.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about he was a drinking buddy with Sasuke, but no, that was X Drake. Anyway, the point is he was involved with a plot with Queen.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. What I'm saying is he has interactions, he has lore. Queen and King bigger all the time. King has known Kaido since he was a teen. He trusts in Kaido to be Joy Boy. There's a lot of relationships here. When we come to our main cast,
I mean, Jinbei does have a lot of interactions and history specifically with Luffy. And the vice captain bickering you get from Zoro and Sanji.
Yeah. And as far as the rest of the crew goes, he does not talk to Zoro. He does not talk to Sanji. He barely talks to Luffy anymore.
He never talks. Like, have we had a conversation between Jinbei and Zoro, like, at all?
No.
Have they exchanged dialogue?
I don't know if they know each other's names. I think they do, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Because of all these, well, I can't even call it, well, do you want me to lie and call him the third person?
The third person for what?
Like in the entourage. Because he doesn't feel like, in terms of power, he doesn't feel like third. And I'm not even
he's had exactly one fight.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Oof. I'm
Well, like
trying.
we've extensively seen what Zoro and Sanji can do in terms of like combat prowess, right?
Yeah.
Like the monster trio, we have extensively seen what they are capable of. To the detriment of most of the other characters in the series, considering Usopp.
Yeah. What if I told you, and I've talked about this before, none of that even matters.
I mean, it doesn't.
Because Fishman Karate. The fact that can hurt Luffy with no problem without hockey, I can't get over that. I will never get over that. That just, my God. Like the fact that he could just go through all the devil fruit defenses and just hit him with no problem. That outdoes everything. I can't. It's fine though. Because he is what people want him to sit there and be stagnant. That's what people wanted.
He's going to awaken the stack fruit.
Yes.
You will see. And he will be so powerful with Legos.
Indeed.
And the Fishman Karate will allow him to see the water currents in the blocks.
That was
so that he can more efficiently stack.
That was I remember that from the old days. That was the dumbest arc map ever had on the internet. Fishman Karate helps you steer a ship. Like, that's why I talk about, like, people just don't read. Where is that said? Show me. Well, it's just, Oda will just assume that you would get that. How?
Well, he's a fish. And fish and ocean. Doi!
That's crazy. Like, I kind of get the line of logic, but, like, how did you get there? Theoretical person.
It's because he's the only relevant fisherman in the series anymore. And he's the helmsman.
Which even that's fraudulent, because why is he the helmsman?
Frankie, take the wheel.
Yeah, and that happens. And then to be a helmsman, it's funny that he doesn't drive a whole lot of stuff. The shipwright's doing all the driving. The shipwright...
It's...
Gone?
Silly. It is silly that we have not seen Jinbei in a race car in one of the cover stories. Not cover stories, but one of the covers.
Not in a race car. Not piloting a motorcycle. We've seen literally everybody else on a motorcycle. Kaido was on a motorcycle with Big Mom. Why? Just out of nowhere. With his sugar mama, Big Mom, just riding in the desert. Why? And if any a time there comes in which there is a mechanical vehicle, and we're talking about the Straw Hats, Frankie's driving it. Don't care if it's a motorcycle, a boat, or whatever. Matter of fact, the first time we see someone in a vehicle, it's Nami and Skypiea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that it makes sense for both of them too, because Nami's passion is navigation.
Yeah.
It makes sense that she would be naturally gifted at tools in which allow her to navigate like land, expanses of land and sea, right?
Yeah.
And Frankie is the shipwright. He's about building stuff. It makes sense that he would be passionate about being able to steer the crafts that he builds.
Even now, with Road, he's steering the flying ship.
And Jinbei's not.
He's not. He's not. He doesn't even care about it. He doesn't even care. So mad. Every time. Without fail. And you know what's even worse? The sniper and the doctor drive the tank.
Dude, it's crazy that we had more motorcycle time with Brooke.
Yes. The musician skeleton is riding piggyback on a motorcycle.
A motorcycle that wasn't being driven by the helmsman.
And everybody but Jinbei has been in the submarine that looks like a shark. But
in his defense, Jinbei does not need a submarine.
He doesn't, but I don't care.
You want him to pilot it.
You're the driver! Drive! I can't believe he's done one coupe de burst. You should know all the gadgets of what's on the ship. You drive 137. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Okay, forget it. It's fine. It's fine. He'll never drive anything. He'll never. The fact that Gunko looks more like a driver than him is ridiculous. Anyway, I've never seen a driver.
Don't worry. We're gonna do a coupe de burst. So there's going to be a moment where they're like, oh my god, we can only go straight in the coupe de burst, but we need to turn left. And Jinbei will be like, do not worry. My fishman karate allows me to fly. And he will steer the ship with fishman karate.
My fishman karate allows me to make my hands...
Amole gente federales.
Yeah. Yes. My fishman karate gives my hands Meto grade. That was stupid. Anyway, yeah. So chapter 137. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I do like how Who's goons are dressed like the you remember the cat guy?
Yakuza?
So not the Yakuza too. No. You remember Kuro's cat brothers?
Yeah.
It's funny that Who's a cat. And the his goons are now dressed as cats. That's funny.
Maybe next chapter we're about to get something huge.
I hope so.
Maybe Oda remembered Kuro exists, and him and Who's Who.
Could you imagine? It's funny that all these cat characters have super speed.
Yeah,
because it's him, Lucy. Yeah,
because they're cats. Cats are fast.
True. Meow.
Cats are very well known for being kind of quick.
Yeah, true. Cheetah. That's true. Okay, so I know you didn't read this one, so do you want to skip around or go through page by page? Up to you.
Well, I'm not going to be able to skip around because I haven't read it yet.
Fair, that's right. Duh. Okay, so
but don't worry, I'm a well accomplished speed reader, so I will go through it and not retain any information.
Excellent.
Behold my power.
Okay, so we're at the Quest Castle. I call it the Arst Castle in the video. Foolish.
Oh, I like how Zoro in the background is he is going, hey, the damage looks recent, because he is very he's passionate about destruction and dealing damage.
That's actually more in character for him than anything that's okay. I do like overall this one shot of the castle's destruction does look amazing though.
Yeah. Dude, like, shout out to Oda's assistants. Yeah. They know how to ink some backgrounds.
The difference between this and Egghead is night and day.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it's things we recognize and stuff like weird.
Well, Egghead was still immaculately drawn in terms of its background.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's not the problem that Egghead was having. The problem with Egghead is that every character was off model, like superimposed on top of these immaculate paintings in the background.
Fair. But yeah,
if only we could have his assistants draw the characters.
So, okay, this is not very relative information, but I'm just going to get to the important part. We find out, actually, with all these skeletons from the supposed fight between Loki and Harold, that giants have ancient giant blood within them. So some of them are just born with horns.
I guess that would make sense, because they are ancient giants, which means that regular giants probably came from them.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. This is huge. Because this explains a lot of the children we saw back at the Walrus School, who just had horns for no reason. So yeah, and this then makes you think like, well, what about Onis then? And then we're in a cover story talking about two Onis, Who's Who and Yamato. So, hey, it's relevant. It's cool. It opens the world up now. I like that a lot. And then we finally get to see King Harold, and he looks like King Riku mixed with Roger.
Did they just leave his corpse there? Hold up.
No, there's a portrait of him.
Oh, okay. I'm a few panels back.
I'm sorry. I'll slow
down. I'm just mesmerized by this one panel of Road going, do you know where the key is? No. I like the extended no.
Road is so good. It's crazy how good Road is. But apparently
he's never even been here before, but he's friends with the prince.
Well,
I want to believe.
He's friends with a prince.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Apparently,
I mean, he's friends with both of them, isn't he? I think. Did I just make up that he's friends with Loki? I probably just made that up.
Well, no, that's probably my fault because I was hypothesizing about that. So you've watched too much Polly P Works on YouTube.com.
Subscribe. I want it to be real that badly that I'm willing to warp reality and canon to what I need.
It would make a whole lot of sense, to be honest. But
well, I guess like considering that it's now a commonplace, like a commonplace knowledge that everyone in Elbaf wants to be Nika.
Yeah,
Rhodes not like a freak in that way. He's just a freak in how far he takes it.
Yeah.
But technically, that's what everyone in Elbaf wants to be.
True. No, that's true.
So it doesn't matter that they share the same dream because everyone in Elbaf has the same dream.
What that dream means. Oh, we didn't go over that. What that dream means, we are unsure of because Nika could be a deity of liberation or destruction. But we find out that Harold is just the coolest guy and was born with horns as well, but ripped them out because horns are a sign of war. And he wanted to civilize Elbaf because he's such the coolest guy. What conviction, Zoro says. This is a lie. This is a lie.
He's so cool that even Zoro is awed by his stoicism.
Of course. But we all know that he's a big fraud and possibly a coward.
Mm-hmm.
Because glazing him this much can only result in that.
I find it hilarious, too, that he's like, I have to rip out my horns, because that's Civil War, dude. And then look at Loki's helmet, dude.
See, that's what
biggest horns you ever done seen.
Very good observation, because now here is a very interesting thought that I was going to get into later, but we're in the chapter, so it doesn't matter. What if those horns are real?
If they are literally King Harold's horns, or if they are literally Loki's horns?
They're literally sticking out of Loki's head, like his helmet is just a steel straw hat. Which would make more sense, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, I mean, because like we've seen, like some of the children, they'd have black horns.
It would make more sense considering how Loki has been characterized so far. That he would have horns, could be like, oh, he's like a devil demon guy. We don't like him. So yeah, it would make sense to also characterize him with the evil horns or whatever.
And wait, what are you gonna say, Molotov? He said, wait.
Harland is cringe.
Yes. Well, okay.
What if Eam's straw hat is Loki's straw hat and Eam wants spoilers for the remainder of the chapter?
Oh, fair. Yeah, where it gets there. But we find out, see, this starts to tarnish Harold a bit, because apparently Harden's mother, because you know both Loki and Harden are brothers, but Harden's mother was not from Elbaf. Therefore, this unsightly child was not allowed in the prestigious castle because of his dirty blood. Because Harold likes them them giant women from far yonder.
It is interesting that we decided to make them half brothers.
Yes, but Loki was
considering the lore.
Yeah, considering the lore, and considering that one of those brothers went off to find the flame fruit. But then that means that Loki got to stay in the castle because his mother was of Elbathian descent. So he had the good one. And then that leads us to a characterization of Roden Haruden, because people didn't like Rode because he was a nerd!
My man.
But Haruden loved him because he saw his talent in map making. And I love Baby Rode here. Very cute.
And it's so cool that Rode and Nami are going to become besties.
Besties of besties.
And by besties, I don't mean friends. I mean slave-master relationship. But, you know.
Yes. Guide me into the final war, slave, as I stand on your palm. But, yeah, I like this a lot. I like this characterization. So that's why we see Haruden out in the village with Mountbeard and Fallbeard during the Big Mom flashback, even though he's a prince. And this also fuels Harden's dream to become the king of the giants and unite all the giant tribes, which is pretty cool.
Because he wants to prove himself, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like Harden, champion guy. Very cool.
He is supremely based.
Man.
There's no way that he would have a secret evil twin brother. Oh, wait. Hadrudin is cringe. He is going to taint Elbath.
No! True! Well, his daddy kind of already did. Education in my warland. Disgusting. Turning my barbarians and swordsmen into scholars? Nerds?
I mean, we should be educating the children on how to fight harder.
Exactly. All the children should know hockey. Look at those women over there in Kucha. All of them know hockey. Terrible, terrible Elbath. Very cringe.
Oh my god.
I
just zoomed down.
Where do you want to go to, brother? We can go there.
Oh my god, I love the boots.
Yes.
Big legs. Oh, that's so blessed.
This is the power of the arrow fruit.
That's sick.
She is the best. I love her immensely. And then the final panel, she gets big gauntlets. She is cool. And she has killed all of Loki's funny buddies from Strong World. Also, her ability reminds me of Emu again, because she taps her foot on the ground, some black smoke comes out, and then there's a little arrow that comes out of that smoke. This could just be an awakening.
Also had arrows, yeah.
So I don't know. This could just be a similar ability, because
Loki's eyes are covered because he has the Sharingan.
True. Or he could have swirly eyes. That'd be interesting, like Emu.
He's gonna activate the 3 comma Sharingan going, I'm an Avenger.
My Gecko Sharingan.
But good lord.
This
Arrowfruit is cool.
Yeah, it really is. This could be like a small localized awakening, because she is, I guess, technically turning the ground into an arrow. But I'm not sure. Because, like with Dofi and Katakuri, what they could do. But yeah, she just beats him to death.
I really like how they're making this work.
It's cool.
I like the arrows show the trajectory of my future. The outcome is unavoidable. That is a really cool part of this power set.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It's been, how long has it been since we've gotten like an interesting, unique power like this? Dressrosa? It's all just been, I'm a awakened Zoan, and I punch guy real hard.
I think the last time might have actually been like Katakuri and Big Mom.
Yeah.
Katakuri and Big Mom. Because the Soul Fruit goes deep. It's crazy. And then like Katakuri with the
yeah, but the Soul Fruit doesn't like have like a weird power that I would not have thought of, I guess. Like Soul Fruit is just like, I take the soul out and I put another guy.
But then that guy has unique interactions with the world. Yeah,
because it's their soul. It's like a literal soul.
Yeah.
Like this is like This is like, oh, you think of like an arrow.
Yeah.
And instead of just the physical aspects of it, you think about the metaphysical aspects of an arrow.
True.
Like, we didn't think about the metaphysical aspects of Mochi.
Right.
Until you really think about the end of that fight real deeply, because Mochi's meant to be pounded, but always retain its form. But it's also malleable.
And
so
sticky.
It can be changed. And sticky for... ignore that. But
to your point, though, and thank you for bringing it up, because this reminded me, too, of the other half of Burndy World's fruit. Because he could increase the speed of things. So because her arrows have like trajectory abilities, maybe they speed up. So like they speed up to, I guess, negate observation. If I'm reading this correctly. Or am I missing something? These arrows show the trajectory of my future. The outcome is unavoidable. Yeah, so they go through observation hockey.
I mean, I guess sort of, but like theoretically, like that's the downside of the power. It's easy to. It's like it's very strong, but like if you're not chained up to a tree, it should be fairly easy to dodge and weave.
But that's what's interesting about it. Can you dodge and weave them?
Maybe.
It's like, if they're going to chase you no matter what, like a Mark fruit situation, but the trajectory can like shift mid-flight.
And I love that she walks on the arrow too. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah. What are these
This
made
power
out of?
rocks.
They're really cool. I wonder what they're made out of. Because they're solid. It's so weird because they're solid objects. And what's with this crossing? See how they're crossed in front of Loki?
Yeah, because it's a kick and then an uppercut.
Ah.
That's what her fate is.
Oh,
to kick him in the face and then uppercut him.
I misunderstood. So she's following the road of it. Right, because she's skating. Oh, she's skating on it. I didn't even see that. Okay, my bad.
Right? It's cool.
My bad. That's great. Oh, like Venom Road. What Magellan did. Yeah. Yo. Oh, I gotta talk about this. Wow. I didn't know they had depth. You see how thick it is when she uppercuts? That's so they can... That's so cool. I mean,
she created like physical like pillars to kill all the animals.
Yeah, that's what's weird too. Yeah, because they're all 3-dimensional shapes. What is this fruit? I'm sorry. I'm just. It feels like I'm reading for the first time now because you gave me that perspective. And then, of course, she's making the physical attachments to her legs and hands.
But yeah, 0% chance Loki's actually dead.
No, he's not dead.
0% chance he's dead.
He got.
I would be
gone.
I would be willing to stake money on that.
Yeah, no, he's not dead. I'm flabbergasted by the ability. I really am. They're 3-dimensional objects.
Also interesting that they're willing to try to... Like, he is royalty.
Yeah, right.
But it's interesting that they are willing to get quote-unquote commoners that aren't celestial dragons as part of the God's Knights.
I guess in a way this makes sense because if you're trying to assimilate a land that never ascended originally to like the celestial dragonhood, you would get a strong member of royalty because that's how celestial dragons were formed in the first place.
What Zoan do you think Gunka has? Well, obviously it's whatever Appa is from Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh, Lord. So now...
But anyway.
Here's what I'm thinking too. I wonder, like we were talking about before, if she's Doflamingo, I wonder if Loki is Treble and or I guess Mister Three, because now based on all of what I'm seeing here, she's very similar to Doflamingo in that she is like actually replicating, well, not replicating, generating objects seamlessly. So
yeah, but that's like something that a lot of parameces can do. You can just generate objects.
yeah, like the weird. Well, this is going to theory crafting territory, but like there's a and I've done videos on this. There's a subsect of paramecia who can generate like a seemingly boundless amount of a certain type of material.
Yeah.
But then you have others like, say, Mr. One or Miss Doublefinger, or
where it's specifically tied to their body.
Yeah, or like even like Robin, which the constructs aren't really real.
Yeah.
They don't stick around. These things stick around because they're sticking into the animals. So we know whatever Gunko is making, these are real physical things present in the world. So like Doflamingo, like Magellan, like Mr. Three, what's another one? Treble. She's more like them. And that's why I think a special paramecia probably is. People who can like generate things and they stick in the world. Also, what's interesting too, and we see it again here, all of them make armor, or it appears as such. Because Doflamingo made his Black Knight, Treble had a false body. I have often hypothesized based on how Katakuri stores his spear within his body that he is wearing a false body all the time. He's not actually made of mochi. But what you read something funny? What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, tell me.
No, I was just reacting to what you were talking about.
Oh.
Because I knew you were going to talk about Katakuri.
Yeah, we were going there. Because, like, yeah, he makes mochi, and it's like a physical object.
And
he can generate it from his own, like, separate from his body.
Yeah.
And that would include Perospero as well, because he generates candy. Yeah, Big Mom had a lot of them guys. Cracker's the same way.
Big Mom has, like, every paramecia. It's crazy.
Yeah. But, like, Smoothie, for example, wouldn't be that way because she doesn't generate anything. She just affects things. So, I hypothesize that, like, yeah, Gunko, if I'm correct, because this is completely theoretical, but like Gunko would probably be one of these guys because she fits all the criteria, and now she's making armor pieces, which is very befitting because she is a knight.
Yeah.
Her whole getup could just be her ability. Actually, she could. I feel
like we started with like she has to follow the arrows because it's her future.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I feel like the awakening is going to be like she can see everyone else's futures in that way.
Oh,
like she's gonna make arrows of your future, and you have to follow it.
That would make sense.
That would be an interesting fight too.
Or like she turns the ground. Yeah, she could turn the ground into the arrow, and then the person that she. Or maybe the person who is on the arrow has to follow that path, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vector arrows from Soul Eater, baby.
Yeah, Medusa. Whom I liked a lot when I was a young lad. And then she turned into a baby, and I got really pissed. The maddest a man has ever become. How dare you? And the fact that you made her a sexy nurse, too. How dare you? Yeah, because before she's revealed to be a witch, she is the school nurse.
Yeah.
How dare you gave her those Croc shoes, and that did things to me as a boy. How dare you? I'll never forgive you. But anyway, what was I talking about?
Arrows.
Yes. Gunko is a cutie patootie, and I like her a lot. I don't know why she has hetero. I can't pronounce it. Heterochromia? Yes.
That's weird.
Because Oda does not do that at all.
I wonder... You know who she reminds me of in a couple of these panels?
Who?
She reminds me of that one guy in Dressrosa who was like the fighting fisherman.
Oh, Dillinger.
Dillinger. Maybe she's something along those lines, but I doubt that.
The only
Evil Shanks, Figurlin Shamrock would want a filthy half fisherman on his crew.
No. Speaking of heterochromia, and this could lead into Luck of the Irish, Figurlin Shamrock, but like Cavendish had a bit of heterochromia when he was half himself, half Hakuba.
Yeah.
And it showed his good eye being blue and his evil eye being orange. So I don't know, but like getting right to it.
What we're gonna do, Figurlin Shamrock has red hair, and Gunko has white hair, and a propensity to split color down the middle.
Oh.
So if they were to have a child, perhaps they would have half red and half white hair.
Perhaps.
Perhaps an Uta of sorts.
Shamrock is the coolest dude. Shamrock. It's too bad this is just Shanks. This is Shanks. This is just Shanks. I don't mean...
Dude, look at his head! Look at his hair, dude!
And I don't even mean... Yes. I'm a Royal Knight Commoner.
God, he looks so stupid.
Oh.
Also, I will say, the way that his greaves look is exactly Uta.
I forgot about that. She literally dresses like a knight. Oh my god.
Like a god's knight, perhaps.
How ain't she canon again?
She's not.
Otis
just drawn her a lot. He wants her to be canon, is what I say.
This influenced that. You can't convince me otherwise. Because this is so direct. And then Gonko has the big gauntlets and she had the big boots. She is just Uta, but not really. It's so odd. But yeah, this is regular Shanks.
Yeah, this is real Shanks. He just wiped off the makeup.
You know, okay, I got a big video coming out about that. Well, I'll let you react.
The rat fruit allows you to heal from scars.
I'll let you react to it before I go on my whole tirade, but go on.
Uh-huh.
No, you go on.
I mean, just go nuts, brother.
The funny thing about the scar, I'm going to explain all these parts. Okay. So the funny part about the scar is that it's hypothesized, or I think just flat out said, that Blackbeard gave it to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blackbeard never talks about it.
No.
We never hear from Blackbeard's perspective, only Shanks' perspective.
I mean, has Blackbeard ever talked about Shanks?
Yeah, he got scared off by Shanks and Marineford.
Yeah.
So it's weird, like a person that you could actually best in combat, you're scared by.
True.
It's weird, especially after you've gotten these big power-ups, like one after the other. It's very, and after you've just beaten a Yonko.
I mean, but let's be perfectly honest. What does Blackbeard gain from fighting Shanks right there?
True. Like, true.
Blackbeard already accomplished his goal. He already did everything he needed to.
True, but just the reaction to seeing him is what I'm saying. He seemed petrified, which is weird. It just doesn't sit the right way. Also, if that's true, that means that the scar might be fake.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, the matter of him having two arms, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, on one end, we're in One Piece. We're in late game One Piece. Cyborgs exist. He could have a fully cybernetic arm, or
okay,
or devil fruits exist. Mm-hmm. We know that healing devil fruits exist because we have Manchurious fruit, and sometimes devil fruits have partners, like in terms of hierarchy, like how there's a ton fruit and a kilo fruit. So there could be another fruit that just heals missing limbs, and he can.
Or he got a limb. He got a limb from someone else.
Yeah,
because he saved Law, who was nearby.
Yeah,
that's Beppo's arm right there, boys.
And now for the bits I made a video about, in One Piece, thanks to the miraculous events of the Wano saga, so meaning Punk Hazard to Onigashima, right? A couple
it's a hockey arm.
You know,
you know, we might end up going that route at some point.
It's possible because Zoro
even
exists.
Dragon Ball Z could not resist the giant stand chi armor. The Avatar state is what I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah, not even
Dragon Ball has avatars in.
Even Superman has a stand.
So it's not outside the realm of possibilities that you could literally create a hockey arm, since this is the power system.
And then we know Zoro can literally make multiple arms, and they're real. They're not illusions for some reason. We also know, thanks to the miraculous events of the Wano saga from Punk Hazard to Onigashima, that people can literally change how they look if they get angry enough.
True.
Because Denjiro changed the shape of his face and the color of his hair. So
I forgot that he changed his hair color too.
So, baby, if the scar is real and Shanks can just change how he looks, he can just will the scar away and lengthen his hair and beard.
Oh my goodness.
That sounds stupid. Go on.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you imagine? He put a wig on and everything.
Yeah. And
oh my goodness gracious. I am so happy that this happened.
Me too.
I'm so happy this happened. It is I bring up like the Spanish soap opera comparison here, right?
Yeah.
Because it is a trope amongst soap operas that have gone on for way too long when they just run out of ideas and they just start making crap up. It is a trope to lean onto the evil twin brother.
Yeah. Fair.
And oh my god, like, let's be perfectly honest. Yeah. We don't know enough about Shanks as a character.
I was going to talk about that, but I'll let you continue.
He's been a major component of the story, the lore, and the world since literally chapter 1. That's a literal chapter 1 moment, right?
Yes, he has.
He has been a major component of this series since the very start.
Yes.
And he has shown up 5 times.
Yes. Now. Wait, was there more? I didn't want to interrupt you.
I just feel that why would we need evil Shanks?
Yeah.
At this stage of the story, what on earth are we going to do with an evil Shanks? We don't even know about our non-evil Shanks. What's the point? It is to show that Shanks is a celestial dragon, except not really.
That's why I'm convinced this is not a new character.
Oh no, he is a world noble. Okay.
Also, well, I got a lot of quick asides. Okay,
we already have a precedent that non-celestial dragons can be a god's knight because he's asking Loki to join him.
True.
So I was like, dude, like we don't even know if Garling's a celestial dragon, but he's a world noble, so definitely.
Yeah, he's a Gorosei now. Ficklin Garling, yeah.
Yeah, like everyone's gonna be talking about. I need to talk to you about that pirate. They weren't talking to Shanks because it was a Yonko. They were talking about Shamrock because he's the captain of the God's Knights. Was that pirate Loki? Is Loki even a pirate?
He technically is a pirate. And he was stopped by Shanks. So I don't this is very interesting. Let me know because I want to pop off.
I mean, Loki obviously knows that Shamrock and Shanks are two different guys.
All right.
Maybe. Because Loki didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
But then again, Loki's blind?
Yeah. And if there are...
Loki is blind! So, like... I guess... he wouldn't sound the same? He's obviously known Shanks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Loki is also deaf. He's going off of pure hockey.
Now. Okay. A few things. Number one. You remember when I said, I was talking about Cavendish?
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting that he also set up that people can have multiple people inside of them. Which is a thing.
And it does change your look.
It does change your look. And this is something that's often attributed to Blackbeard, though I think we're far enough in the series at this point to concede that Blackbeard is a strong freak. He is not schizophrenic, nor does he have multiple personas.
Yeah.
That I think that needs to be put out to pasture. It's been too long, especially after the conversation Devon and Augur have with Saturn. We're going more so in the genealogy direction with Blackbeard. Now,
yeah, he doesn't have 3 personalities. He just has 3 hearts because he's an octopus.
Jesus.
Go on.
I hate that theory. Anyway, you mentioned something very interesting. We don't know anything about Shanks. You know what we do know, though? We know enough about every other person who has held the Yonko position so far. Ain't that weird? We know, even if we don't know specifics, we know their trajectory on how they got to be a Yonko, roughly. But we know nothing about Shanks. That's just weird. And then on top of that, after Roger's death, there is so much missing time.
It would be very funny if Shanks had a split personality, one of which is the literal captain of the greatest world government fighting force.
Yeah. Now, and I talk about this in a video, but I'll bring it up here too. Think about all the spies and moles we've had throughout the series. We've had a spy and a mole in every kind of organization except for 2. We have never
Molotov just mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah. We've had a spy. We have not had a spy yet in the Revolutionary Army, which is wild. But hey, go to the Polyp Works channel. And we have not had a spy who is a Yonko. We've had spies in Yonko organizations, but we have not had a spy who was a Yonko. So wouldn't it make sense for the world government to have a controlled opposition in...
I mean, in that case, we also haven't had a spy who is an admiral. Unless it comes out that Kuzan is later, but you know.
Yeah, I mean... Well, we've actually had an admiral who's defected. So I mean, that's touchy because like
it feels like when you're talking about Yonko in particular, it feels like the spy allegations is like really touching on extremely specific. And who is a Yonko going to be spying on?
See, what's weird? The reason why I'm like at this like juncture with this is because Shanks, specifically Shanks, nobody else, which is weird, has been in positions in which he has stopped conflicts. For example, of course, the famous Marineford thing, but he also stopped Kaido and King from going to Marineford. Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What business do you have doing that? It doesn't make sense.
It just...
That's a good point.
Hold on. I'm thinking. I'm cooking.
Okay. Also, that's very good, actually.
So Usopp's lies are always right.
True.
What is Usopp's name on his wanted poster?
God Usopp.
God Usopp. Interesting. So theoretically, if Shanks is Shamrock,
yeah,
that would have, and he is the captain of the God's Knights. That would effectively mean that the red hair pirates are God's Knights.
Exactly.
Celestial dragons.
Exactly.
Gods.
Exactly.
And their sons would
Yeah.
also be celestial dragons.
You're actually cooking with hot gas, because guess what? No, you've stumbled upon something very interesting, because guess what? We've seen Shanks actually recruit one person in his entirety in the manga. Guess who we see him recruit?
Ben Beckman?
No, never see it.
Loki.
No. Yes. Molotov has it.
Oh, Yasopp.
We see him recruit Yasopp specifically in Chapter 0. That's the only person we ever see him recruit.
Yeah.
So I think, and then who is the one who blows up Bartolomeo's ship at the start of the arc?
My man.
I'm saying, it's real weird. It's real weird. I don't know. Could mean nothing. Could mean everything. But it's just really strange. And then, of course, celestial dragons are known for using pistols to kill people. And the first death in the series is committed by Lucky Roo.
Pistol.
Using a pistol. And
that is funny.
And then Shanks' crew is one of the only crews in One Piece who primarily uses guns.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them do, for whatever reason. Or go on.
Having Shanks and Shamrock as two separate characters, what on earth do we get from this?
That's why I'm saying, because even with Sanji, there's a difference between all of his brothers. Like, distinctly. They're color-coded, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But the same face, the same build, the same hair color, because his hair is gray, so it's red.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's grayscale in the manga, so it's red. Yeah, hockey guns. Exactly, Molotov. Yeah, Ben Beckman, who shoots off Kid's arm, which is crazy. Yasopp, Lucky Roo, technically Howling Gab, because he has like a voice shout thing. That's not a dough fruit. So we have all these projectile users. And Shanks being the only swordsman. Very odd. Very odd. Yeah, And given...
If they're two separate characters.
Yeah.
I mean, also that looks like Griffin, doesn't
it? They all have the same sword.
That's true.
Shanks, Garling, Shanks, and this guy, Shamrock, all have the same sword.
Which is interesting.
Yes, and he was...
How did Shanks get Griffin?
Where does it come from?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's not Ace. It's not Roger's sword.
Yeah.
And he's never seen using it as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this bleeds into Buggy, because I think the pirate that Shanks or Shamrock, whomever, was warning the girl say about was Buggy.
Maybe.
Because it wouldn't be Loki, because Loki was taken care of already. It wouldn't be Blackbeard.
Mm-hmm.
Because Blackbeard is already known by Eam. And who's the only person who knows about Buggy? Shanks.
Yeah.
They served on the same crew.
See.
Yeah.
If Shanks is a mole.
Yeah.
How does Eam not know where Laughtail is?
Because young Shanks was not on Laughtail.
Wasn't on Laughtail. He was on the ship for the entire journey there.
He never went.
I'm saying that he was on the journey.
He was on the journey.
Even if he didn't go on the island.
So it could be that
he should know where the island is.
Maybe there's something specific about it that you need to need to do. Or whatever's there is useless and you need a specific person to activate it.
Yeah, Shanks is like, it's about time that we took the One Piece. Yeah, Shanks said that. I've always assumed that Shanks knew where Laugh-Tale is.
That's what's weird. No, you're absolutely right. Or also, absolutely
but
right.
If Shanks is the same guy, then how does Eam not know where it is?
That's interesting. I wonder.
If the captain of the God's Knights knows where it is.
There has to be something weird about it. That it takes a particular person in order to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe... There has to be something.
I would say Shanks is betraying Emu. If this is the same guy, right?
Right.
The whole purpose of Roger is that they weren't there in time.
Right.
So Shanks would be known for knowing where the One Piece is and also grooming Nika.
Grooming Nika to activate it for him. Because here's another thing. I think in order for Luffy to actually come into his own and be a man, right, separate from Shanks, is to be a disillusioned by Shanks. Because what a lot of people on the internet all the time, and I talk about this in my video that I recorded last night due to sleep deprivation. But what people say on the internet a lot is that, the Straw Hat crew and the Red Hat Pirates are going to have a fun little Davy back fight and everything will be fine. No. That literally cannot happen.
But
I know that's what you want. and it would be touching. But in order for Luffy to grow into his own man, he needs to step out of Shanks' shadow. That cannot be Shanks' hat anymore. It has to be his hat.
Yeah.
How the world sees him is how he has to see himself now. If that makes sense. It's still his treasure. And it was still given to him by a person who he thought very highly of. But it means something different now. It means something different to him. It means something different for the people around him. And it means something different to how the world perceives him. It has grown beyond Shanks' hat. It's grown beyond being Roger's hat. So, he needs to meet his hero and find out that he is a tool. At least that's what I think.
Definitely possible. It hasn't grown beyond being Nika's hat. True.
That's the next step. And
overcoming the Nika within.
The sad part is the Davy back fight that we want might be with Blackbeard. Which is stupid.
Maybe.
Which I know that's not ideal. And I know we want a touch reunion between Yasopp and Usopp. Though, I don't know. Also, the whole bit about him being in two places at once is rectified because they literally teleported in. So, distance is not a problem anymore. Now, the question is...
Blackbeard can Davy back Jinbei away!
I hope so. Now, that's another interesting part. If there was anybody on the Straw Hats who was a God's Knight, or Holy Knight, well...
I don't think there's going to be a Holy Knight on the Straw Hat.
Yeah, I mean, this could just be my bias showing. If I had to pick somebody, you know who I'd pick.
I don't think, the world government has only just started allowing... Sanji is a Fed. The world government has only just now started allowing giants into the Marines. I doubt that they would allow a fishman into the God's Knights.
Which is, yeah, that's true. No, that's true. Which is super weird in hindsight, seeing as how useful they are, given that we live in seeing how they live in a water world. But yeah, that is what it is. Oh, I had a thought. I lost it.
Dang.
Dang. Yeah, no, it's gone.
This explains why Shanks has been wearing a cloak for the last, 5 appearances.
Yeah. Oh, this is what I was going to say. I think this this proposal was also brought to Harold, and that's the reason why we have a giant squadron, because Harold was probably conspiring with Mother Caramel.
Probably.
That's why we have a giant squadron, because she mentions John Giant specifically. So he was probably from Elbath, and he was sold off by Harold, because he probably saw that as a bargaining chip to getting good with the world government. Harold is a big fraud, and it's very cringe. I think that's why.
See, now depending on how we draw it, it can be a fraud or extremely based.
Fair.
Because when we went to Fishman Island, I mean, they were all about living together in peace and harmony.
True. That's true. Good point. Good counterpoint.
But they weren't Warland, baby!
They weren't Warland, nor were they fodderizing their children. Because this is a blight. Based Mom Ripley teaching her son the old ways. Because this is tragic. The girls and the boys say, "You're fighting too roughly." Meanwhile, Colin was stoked at seeing Elephant Gun. Like, oh my god, you almost killed me. Sick.
Yeah, Loki killing Harold to keep Elbath from being conquered makes a lot of sense.
In that way, I would believe it. If that's the way it panned out, that would make a lot of sense. I agree. Also, the Mihawk allegations are through the heavens. I am sweating looking up.
Has Mihawk fought this guy?
Yeah, has him, Nasjuro, Bickle and Garland. Like, brother, I can't see. I cannot see the stack of fraudulent that has
I am the world's strongest swordsman, except for...
Sounded like Frieza. I am the universe's strongest, except for that guy and that guy and that guy and this guy.
Okay, in Frieza's defense, the only guys who were stronger than Frieza were Lord Beerus, who was asleep at the time.
Yeah.
And Majin Buu, who was asleep at the time.
True, and then we're talking about a literal deity in a cosmic horror.
Yeah.
I love Boo. Boo is so based. Anyway. Oh, who is also a deity too, because he ate the Supreme Kai.
Uh-huh.
So technically, yeah.
The god of destruction is a natural exclusion.
True. Yeah. True Molotov. So yeah, Mihawk is just a big old fraud then. I don't even think that's his blade. The black blade? I don't even think it's his.
He took it.
I think he took it. You know what's his blade? You know what his true blade is? The
tiny one?
Yes. Because I made a video about this. He keeps it on him all the time.
Yeah.
And it has a sheath, unlike Yoru. So he takes care of it.
That's funny.
It's amazing.
Could you imagine finishing your sword quest and that's what you get? A tiny little guy.
Yes.
And he still makes it work.
He does. He's good with it. Just like, I don't know how he compares, which that's why I'm like, we're going to see what a true Black Blade is, because right now I'm fully convinced the only person in history who has made their blade black is Shimonsuke Ryuma. Because they call him King in the added reading known as 108 Mercies on Netflix.
I would say Roger probably did.
It wasn't black.
Wasn't?
No, it wasn't permanently black, no.
Ah, never mind.
Or was Newgates by Sento. Not permanently black, no. They turned it black, but it's not permanently black.
Okay.
Strongest swordsman, not the strongest sword fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Easy.
Because now I need trouble being convinced that he can beat Big Mom. Because Napoleon is crazy.
I mean, just because he's the strongest doesn't mean he's the best. I mean, you just beat Shanks in an arm wrestling contest.
Yes, it's easy beating a one-armed man in a arm wrestling contest. Jesus Christ.
Big Mom is a woman. Zoro said they suck at fighting. Easy.
Yeah. Let's see now. If Big Mom eats 2 cakes, watch out now. Jeez. Like, and then, like, you mean Kaido didn't turn his Kanabo black? Yamato didn't turn her Kanabo black? It's real fraudulent out here. I'm sorry. And I just find it interesting that they retconned Ryuma to always have a black blade. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. Also, his blade has a property to it, kind of like Enma.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exciting at all, but because the property is canon, by the way. The property is that Shusui, Ryuma's blade, is just heavy. Mm-hmm. It's like heavier than it looks.
Yeah.
So it's just a heavy katana, and it like cleaves because it cleaves a bronze statue in monsters, like clear cut. So that's its added property. So like how Enma sucks out Haki, Shusui is just heavy. So
I'm gonna be real. A heavier sword is way more interesting than Odin, grant me your Haki.
Fair.
Oh my Odin's Conqueror's Haki.
And more useful in combat because he actually cut ores. Which, wow.
I love that Oda still hasn't truly like revealed that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's there, but it's not there.
Because a lot of people out here saying it's like, oh, that was actually he did the same thing that the Scabbards did, which would be so funny.
Yeah. But hey, thanks to Odin and his naked dancing in the street, he has granted Zoro Conqueror's Haki.
Grant me Haki, Odin. This is base Lucci we're up against.
That would never not be funny. And then you see a thought bubble of Odin dancing in heaven naked, sending his Haki from down high. Haki lore is terrible.
I hate it.
It's bad. Like how you can banish Zoan fruit users with your strongest when not Haki. Oh Lord, give me strength. Give me your Haki strength.
Lord Odin, grant me your Haki. This is base One Piece we're up against.
This. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. It's fine. So you can store conquerors into objects too. We find that out. That's true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So does the Shamrock McFlurry from McDonald's, does he have a black blade? I wonder.
I have no idea.
And like, would it be funny?
I mean, if Griffin is a black blade, then probably.
Or maybe
I would think that the head God's Knight has one.
It would be funny if Griffin.
Or maybe Shanks stole it from him.
Or if they're the same person, Griffin is his pirating blade, but this blade is his God's Knight's blade. This is the serious blade.
The sword changes with his personality.
Ooh! I like that. I like that.
It becomes black when it's Shanks because Shanks is worthy, but it stays white. And Shamrock has like a real, he's got a real thing about it.
Yeah. When I'm pretending to be that lowly bum, my sword changes, but when I'm my glorious self, it remains normal. How could my blade betray me like this? Or the opposite.
Dad! Griffin's not listening!
Did you put some WD-40 on it? Also, I will say, Garling in the suit is the hardest thing. I love
Garling in the suit was awesome.
His big, gigantic barrel chest. So good. I'm glad we got rid of Saturn. He sucked. old and decrepit. He didn't take his vitamins. That's why he was all hunched over, and that's why he got smushed. But Garling, though, Garling's a strong old man. He eats his Wheaties.
I was hoping this was gonna be Garling. I was hoping that Eam would make Garling younger.
That still might happen.
But
Not impossible.
This isn't Garling. He doesn't have stupid hair.
Right. And you know what? Based on Garling being a actual star, when you look at him straight on, his design probably won't change.
Yeah.
We've seen him young. He's got the Jimmy Neutron cut.
Mm-hmm.
And then he grows into a moon / Starman.
Oh my god, I love his design.
I love Garling. I love him more than Saturn. Saturn's so lame in comparison.
Like, everything about Garling is based. And then I look at his son. What happened?
Yeah.
Garling, what happened?
That easy living. I tell you. You know what, too? I could believe Lucky Roo is a holy knight because he's so big and he's always eating.
Mm-hmm.
That may be a bit, I guess, shapist or whatever, but like, I don't know. That's interesting.
People think that Loki's dead.
People don't.
I just thought of something stupid.
What? Tell me.
Imagine if they did kill Loki, and as they're walking away, they start to notice that Loki's his clothes are turning white.
Yes! Oh, my resin fruit. Give me the power of resin and gum. Make me Nika.
His deal with Luffy was to take a part of the Nika power.
Oh, Lord! Yeah, it's all my Medora, eat a piece of my hair, Loki, so you may become Nika.
I'm gonna be honest, that would be... I think I would accept that a lot sooner than I would accept Luffy being Nika.
That's...
Because at least with Loki, I've only known him for like a...
Cut out a little bit.
I said I'd be able to accept this more than Luffy.
Yeah.
Because at least with Loki, I've only known him for like a month.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting 20 years to change your mind on this.
Yeah, but you see, Nika was chapter 1.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, if Shanks was responsible for the Nika fruit, a god's knight stealing it from Cypherpole.
Also, thank you for that. Ain't it weird that we're talking about who's who, and we have a guy that looks like Shanks in the same chapter? This is Shanks. Ain't no way. No, I just thought about that. No way. Get out of here. Don't believe it. He always keeps a woman around, doesn't he? Goodness. So, I mean, is that child...
Not Shanks, though. No girls allowed on my ship.
No. Their feminine wiles will attract the Sea Kings. Oh, Lord. Sexist, racist Shanks. You gotta love them. No women on my crew, no strange racists on my crew. Animals are okay, though. I'll let a monkey be my commander before I let a dirty fish be my commander.
He let a monkey before Nika on his crew.
Right? No little children, you suck. I'll let this monkey be my crew.
That would also explain what he was doing on... Okay, so 2 things.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
2 reasons why he was on Wano.
Yeah.
Reason number 1. This is Shanks.
Yeah.
And he was making sure that the awakening happened.
Makes sense. Making good on his investment. I understand. Go on.
Reason 2. This is not Shanks.
Okay.
And Shamrock could have teleported onto Wano and killed Luffy there.
The first one makes more sense. It's like now that they can teleport anywhere, it's like, okay,
teleportation straight ruins this whole series, but
it does. And now we have it two-folded. Because
like, it's fine if you only do it with the Gorosei, because they're not allowed to leave their... They're technically not allowed to leave their station unless it's dire, right?
Right.
We cannot start extending this to more people.
To be fair, it can also be dispelled by the strongest of hockey.
I don't care about that.
But no, you're absolutely right. But there has to be limits on it. Go on.
The thing about One Piece as a world is that it's a world filled with adventure because no one can explore it because it's hard to sail the seas.
Right.
It's hard to explore this world. You can just teleport wherever you want. Where's the adventure?
That's where I'm like, I think Eames' power, because it seems to be Eames' power, and like the warp fruit are kind of in the same boat in which you can... There are limits, I should say.
Where was this guy when Luffy defeated... Where was this guy when Luffy defeated, what's his face? Crocodile.
Oh, well, you know, small-time pirate didn't really matter. Well, no, Kuma, now Molotov, no, you can't do that. Kuma has a limit. Kuma can only go places that he's been already. Which means he showed up at Thriller. Well, no, that's on the channel, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, if you believe Thriller Bark was another place, he's been to Thriller Bark already before it was Thriller Bark. So, I'll leave that there. But, yeah.
Also, how is Doc Q teleporting?
He's not. I think he's gotten Doc Q mixed up with Van Augur.
Ah.
Because Van Augur is literal teleport.
I mean, the warp fruit is probably up to what he can see. Nah, because he warped to Wano.
Like,
or not Wano, Egghead.
Yeah, like... Well, he had to travel by boat to do that.
Oh, so yeah, it's probably based on what he can see.
It's like based on what he could see, and then there seems to be like a set limit because he said he wasn't good with it.
Mm-hmm.
So even when it awakens, there are probably going to be limits to what he can actually do. That's why I think this lightning warp pad magic circle thing is about. It probably has a limit. Because I can't see, it would ruin the story if you could just teleport anyone anywhere.
How did they not get Luffy? Because Shanks was stopping him, baby.
Because it wasn't time yet. You can't pick a fruit until it's ripe.
Yeah.
And now the fruit is nice and ripe.
Like, that's got to be it, right? Like, that's the only explanation as to why they didn't kill Luffy as soon as possible.
It doesn't make sense otherwise. It literally doesn't. Either
they have to be like, we want him to be Nika so that we can kill him and actually kill Hope.
Yes, like, you need to live stream killing Hope in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So either Shanks is telling the world telling the Gorosei about Luffy, or he's telling the Gorosei about Buggy. It's not Blackbeard. It's either one or the other, but it's not Blackbeard. Because Blackbeard, for all intents and purposes, people seem to just know about. Even Saturn knew that he had like a weird lineage, so like he's a known factor. Emu knows, Saturn apparently knows, everybody knows. He's an anomaly, but he's not an unknown thing. Buggy and Luffy are unknown things.
What chapter was that?
I don't know off the top of my head, dog.
Yeah. Well, it's like middle of Marineford, right? Or right before Marineford, probably?
I think so. It's either right before or like right after. If not that, it's like early time skip. I cannot place it. But yeah, I'm fully convinced it's anybody but Blackbeard. It can't be Blackbeard.
Mm-hmm.
Because Luffy makes sense because of the Nika stuff. And Shanks being concerned about his rise to power, right? or like saying like or thinking like maybe now's the time to strike, what have you.
Yeah.
On the Bucky side of things, he knows Bucky, and his lineage could be a dangerous threat if he is pushed. That is
Or
why
maybe he wanted to tell them that Luffy was going to be there and don't kill Luffy.
perhaps
Then again, Aka Inu really tried.
he really did.
But then again, the Marines and the Gorus, they don't
communicate
back and forth. Yeah.
No, they don't. Like now, it's kind of sad, and I know you hate this. We've kind of moved past Marines a little bit,
Yeah.
and now like from Gunko showing these are our antagonists, these guys, and then the Gorosei.
You know what's funny?
What's up?
Everyone's still talking about this. I need to tell you about that certain pirate.
Yeah,
We haven't gotten an answer to that yet.
we have not.
At all.
No.
That was half the series ago.
Yes, it was. We were in our 20s.
That was like 560 chapters ago.
Yes.
And we still haven't gotten an answer to what he was talking about.
Not at all. You and I were in our 20s back then. Oh, chapter 907.
907.
Yep.
Was that not during Marineford?
This is doing Fishman Island.
Oh.
No, the Levelly. The Levelly. Where's the Levelly at?
Oh. I'm getting my nonsense scoot around. Reverie was post Wano?
No, that was
pre Wano.
after just Rosa. So Zoe?
Yeah, pre Wano.
Pre Wano, yeah. So like okay.
It's around Wano.
So like Zoe, okay, yeah. Zoe,
okay, so yeah, I'm getting it mixed up. So yeah. Okay, so that was only 200 chapters ago.
That was still like 5 years ago.
That was only the entire run of Rurouni Kenshin ago.
Yeah. And the fact that the fact we only see half of his face is so weird. If it's Shanks, then who cares? But we don't know who this is or what persona they may or may not be perceiving themselves as.
Although they do have the cloak.
Yeah.
And the collar.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We don't know.
Does Shanks wear a collar?
He has a collared shirt.
I don't think so. Oh, does he? Dang.
It's always open, so I don't know. Yeah, we got to see about this.
Yeah, he's got like the collared cape, but it's not like a cloak.
Yeah. Also, what's funny about this one panel in particular is that along the side of this mysterious figure, we see Don Quixote Miosgar literally changing his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So, seeing as how he was a celestial dragon obsessed with himself and turned to a good person, the opposite could be true. You could be perceived as a good person and turn out to be a celestial dragon. I'm not letting this go. I will not, because I see the parallel. No. I see it.
He's seen the code!
I'm looking through the code. I'm a hacker, boys.
Shanks does have a collar in chapter 1. Dang.
Yeah, he do.
Dang.
Literally chapter 1.
God, look at how much soul. Look at the soul in this man's eyes.
Yeah. Also, that's an interesting point, too.
So much.
Look how much he changes throughout the series. They look like in the way that he draws him. Like he draws him more and more serious as time goes on. That's fascinating.
Well, that's just Oda's. This is just Oda's new art style.
Yeah.
Everything is a little bit rounder and whiter now.
Yeah. And things are more angular as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
everything, like it used to be drawn like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. Now it's a lot more like an anime.
A little bit. Now we have Gildarts from Fairy Tail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, he
straight looks like Gildarts.
It's just Gildarts. Gildarts and Eraser, I guess. They were in the bath together. What's going on over there? That's not how you write women. What's her name? The blonde one.
Lucy?
Lucy and Eraser have a conversation naked in the bath. I'm like, what is this? You can't do that.
That's getting people to watch the show.
I mean,
The only way to write women is naked. Who's gonna buy a clothed show?
I mean, I say that, and the way
they are desperate to get that bag, dude.
Then again, can I really talk in the way I conduct my thumbnails? It's all right. No. Game recognizes game. I'm not going to complain. I would be a hypocrite. Anyway, yeah. So we'll have
but there's a difference because you don't write the women, so it's fine.
That's true. That's true. I only make what I am given. But yeah. So can't wait to see what's going on in the future. We've had a good show, about 2 hours.
Once again, we get an answer. Not the answer we wanted, not the answer to any question that was asked, but an answer that will generate only more questions.
Exactly.
As Oda intended.
Yes, very good. Happy to have more questions. Happy to have interesting powers. Happy to finally talk about giant genealogy. Thank you. You're not done. I need more, by the way. But this is a start. So thank you, Oda. I can't wait to see that Loki's horns are real and he's actually just wearing a straw hat. That's funny. But anything else?
He will be Nika by the end of this arc.
He should be.
Bonnie will awaken and ensure it.
And then we will find out that her true name is Figurlin Bonnie. And Shamrock really did enjoy...
Figurlin Bonnie, baby!
Because, okay, this may be its own thing, because I forgot to include this, but I've been hearing both in a comment and on the Discord. I heard this twice back to back, so it's gotta be true.
Shout out to Bushido on the Digital Burrow.
Yeah, shout out to Bushido, and shout out to... wait a minute, I'm pulling up the comment. This is a totally different person. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm picking up my telephone device. It was... Oh my god, this is a name. Ryan Nintendo Guy 5770.
Okay.
Bad guy. A video idea is that Shamrock is Bonnie's father and Bonnie is an Irish pirate.
Yeah.
And of course, Shamrock relates back to Ireland. So, yeah. Yeah, is that Irish or Scottish? I don't even know. I gotta look into that. Anyway.
Shamrocks?
Yeah.
That's Irish.
Irish, okay, thank you. Yeah, so Figurlin Bonnie would not be impossible. And this will also disillusion Luffy more because now, whereas his hero, well, no, because to him, Shanks is a hero, but to Bonnie, he is the villain because he is the reason why she had the stone disease. Which means Shanks is a dirty bird. If this is Shanks,
yeah, but could you imagine if they put that on Shanks? What that would do to Saturn? Are we gonna take the last thing that Saturn had going for him?
Yeah.
To put it on Shanks?
Yes, sir. He was in he was giving Guinea the business. That's crazy. Kuma didn't tap, so Shanks will. Oh no. That's awful. Especially seeing as how that's an opposing faction. Aren't the revolutionaries really against the Gas Knights or the Holy Knights?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Do they even know they exist?
That's a good question.
I mean, Kuma would. Sort of.
Yeah.
I guess Eva would.
Which would he be old? Yeah, he would be old enough. A lot of time had passed by then. Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was probably in his 20s. Yeah, it's possible. Also, what we don't even know about Shanks, and I'll end it because we're getting long. I understand.
Yeah.
We don't even know who he beat to become a Yonko, and it's always weird that this Yonko tier character got his arm bitten off by this random tiny Sea King.
Mm-hmm.
That's just weird. It doesn't make any sense in hindsight. And that could be because of the power scaling of Shanks, which is a caveat of the story.
I mean, we've been asking about that since Mihawk straight up asked Shanks about that himself.
Yeah.
Shanks straight up said at the start of the manga, "Oh, I let that happen. Taking a gamble."
Which could have been a lie. To build trust.
I mean, a lie, but is it? It's vague enough to where it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but...
A gamble on what? A gamble on Luffy leading the world to liberation, or a gamble on Luffy being the key that
a gamble on the key. Because maybe you need to instill enough of a drive so that he goes out to become the thing you want him to be.
I mean, the One Piece was probably Joy Boy's treasure, right?
Probably. Or we find out in 136 there have been 2 generations of flooding.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been the guy before Joy Boy. This is implied now that Joy Boy wasn't the first user of the human fruit model Nika.
Yeah.
I too love the illusion of plot. Illusion of plot's great. I love not knowing anything because I can make 25 videos about it and have a month completely free. Anyway, if you're on the TikTok, which is not banned, congrats guys over there. We're not streaming.
Well, we'll see in the next couple months, but yeah.
Yeah. But
we didn't unban it. We just extended its non. We gave them more time to not sell it to an American.
Yeah, but if you're on there for the time being, Pinball PA is on there as well, so you should follow them. Because
I'm going to start working on pushing everything to the YouTube as well. So we have a Pinball PA YouTube.
Oh, I got to subscribe if I'm not already subscribed. Yeah, so Pinball PA on YouTube. Go check my boy out. He is a whiz at the arcade content, arcade history, baby.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I was going through everything.
Yeah.
Because obviously TikTok ban is happening, so I need to get all of this off.
Right. Yeah.
So I went in. I single-handedly. I have 170 videos on the TikTok right now.
Hey yo, working man.
So I was getting all them off, and I was rewatching it. I should really remake all this. My early videos are like really informative. So, man, I wish we had Time Crisis. That's one on my list. We do have House of the Dead, but it's not the same.
I love House of the Dead. It's fun and dumb. I love House of the Dead.
It's time to play Metal Gear for real.
No. Wait, that's a memory I had. Anyway,
so yeah, go ahead, subscribe to that. If you are on the YouTube, if you're seeing this via Rose Skull Podcast, thanks for stopping by. If you're here, good God, this was a long one. I appreciate you all. Yes. Give it a like. Helps us with the algorithm and all that nonsense. Go on to the twitch.tv or the Tiki-Taki at Polypede Works. And give that a good old clickerino. You fools.
Oh, no.
Else. Awesome. Oh, God. I feel it happening. YouTube is going to my blood. I feel my evil inner half emerging.
Figureland Zakk. Oh, no.
Figureland Zakk.
If you are...
No, I'm canonically a twin, so it'd have to be Figureland D. Michael.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, right. I forget that. And your birthday is in a month. Happy birthday, dog.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2 months.
Oh yeah, right. Because it's.
It's in March.
I forgot today was January still.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. Yeah. So if you're on the YouTube as well, subscribe to the Rose Skull podcast and subscribe to Paul P Works on the Rose Skull. We're on our way to 500, which is great. Halfway there to 1,000.
We're crushing it.
And on Paula P Works, we're almost at 2,000 subs. I need more.
Ooh. You're getting that number up, dude.
Up, baby. All tides rise. Raise all boats. Everybody getting paid.
If you don't mind me asking, how many subscribers have you gotten since your new thumbnail strategy?
A lot.
Been picking up.
In the past year, because I started.
It works, baby.
It works. I started this in July.
Yeah.
And wow, this is part of the show. I started this on July 2nd of 2024. I have gotten 600 subscribers since then.
Awesome.
600 because they sent me a funny email telling me how many subscribers I got this year.
The people have spoken.
The Ghiblies will be bigger, and the women will have more tan lines.
We will see what we can do. Oh man, what are we even going to do with the thumbnail of this video? I'm sure you already have an idea.
I sure do. He said, not lying. I mean, tan lines are, yes, they are a Molotov. They are the best. But I can't be acting up in public, so I'll catch you all later.
He's letting the mask slip. Get out! Hit it!
My gooner face cannot be shown.
The bar's open! Run!
Run! Don't be dodgy! See you next time! Bye!